Morning everyone. Thanks for joining and welcome to today's webinar, which is Expand Your Reach, Selling on Temu with StoreFeeder. I'm Jack. Some of you probably already know me, StoreFeeder product knowledge expert. I've been at StoreFeeder for 12, nearly 13 years now. Started off in support, became the onboarding manager, and now I've moved into more of the marketing side of the business. In this webinar, we'll be exploring how you can grow your e-commerce reach by selling on Temu and how StoreFeeder makes it simple to manage your Temu orders, stock and shipping all in one place. Today, I'm joined by Thomas Wintle from Temu, who will be speaking to you about selling on the platform. So this is the agenda for the webinar. We'll go obviously an introduction and a welcome, and then an introduction to Temu, best practices for success on Temu, top performing Temu categories, the StoreFeeder and Temu integration, how the integration works, what to expect, how to get started, and then a Q&A session. So for the questions, feel free to throw those into the chat or the Q&A section, and then we'll go over those at the end. And now I'm just going to pass it over to Thomas from Temu for an introduction and tips to selling on the platform.
Hey guys, great to meet you. Oh, I'm muted, aren't I?
Nice. I think we can hear you. Just need to share the.
Can you hear me now? It says my mic has been disabled. Let me double check.
Let's have a look. No, I can hear you. It looks like it should be working. Oh, brilliant.
Okay, we can hear. Okay, perfect. Good to know. It's Microsoft Teams, classic. But anyway, good to meet you all. Really excited to share a little bit more about Temu. So, yeah, my name's Thomas. I lead the fashion, health, and beauty vertical here at Temu. So, yes, I've prepared a short deck that should hopefully give you an insight into the marketplace and what we have been building since, really in the UK, since December last year. So a really exciting time to come on board and take advantage of what the marketplace has to offer. And obviously then how StoreFeeder can really help unlock that opportunity for you. So I'll just share screen now. Hopefully this part works. Presenting Teams. Cool. Can we see this? Is that working for you, Jack, as well? It's not letting me expand, but hopefully that's fine in its current form. You can probably see the side banner. But yeah, it's not giving me the opportunity. Let me see if I can do it this way, actually. Slideshow. There we go. Cool. So we can jump in. So I think we're all aware of Temu. We've seen it in adverts online, in physical spaces across London and across the world, to be honest. And it's safe to say that it is now a global mainstream platform, but equally a mighty force in e-commerce. So it's a pretty young platform. It's only been around just shy of 4 years, but has grown to an incredibly large size in that period of time. We now operate in over 90 plus markets. We've had over 735 million app downloads worldwide and counting. And you can see the size of the monthly visits on platform. So in the UK, on a monthly basis already, we have 13 million plus people coming on, shopping for, of course, cross-border brands, but now more importantly, UK brands as well. So yeah, latest data that we see internally, this number has shifted quite a bit. We've increased from 13 million as well. So a fairly sizable opportunity there for you to tap into from a commercial standpoint. So really, why are people shopping on Temu? 3 things. I think the first being the engagement. It is incredibly sticky, this platform. There is a huge amount of gamification that the team has put in place. whether that is the coupon pop-ups, the buy 2 items, get a free gift, and a lot of this, I guess, call it free money that Temu's pushing your way, which has been a strategy from the start. I think this is one of the main things that's drawn people to the platform. This constant surprise opportunity of bundles and free, essentially, products that just keeps you coming back. Again, huge amount has been invested in marketing. We've done 2 Super Bowl campaigns as well, which really helped us accelerate our growth in the US, as another example. And of course, affordability being one of the main ones. Everyone is used to shopping on Amazon. Now Temu's come around where you can find very, very similar products, but looking at the price points, even more compelling. So affordability is absolutely one of the key things that has led people to come to the Temu marketplace. A lot of the adverts that we use as well really do highlight this element. One of the obvious ones was the massage gun, where on Temu you could literally buy one for 99 pence. And I'm sure if you looked on Amazon, it would be at least 25, 30 pounds for the same sort of item. So yeah, an absolute key driver for the growth of Temu in the last 3-4 years. I think finally, ease of use. It is mobile first commerce. We have indeed put a lot of work into this so we can really streamline search to checkout. And the other thing with Temu is actually it's more discovery led. So we can say that in many cases, Amazon is still search led. So we're more akin to, let's say, a TikTok where discovery led commerce is at the core. So once you start really your journey on Temu, the platform begins to know your interests, your preferences, the type of shopper you are, and starts to then manipulate your For You page, your homepage catalog to ensure that you have the right products at the right price points to ensure that you're constantly coming back and converting. So in the UK, it is a great sign to see that some of the qualitative and quantitative surveys that we've done, they are happy with the platform. They really do like Temu and would like to start spending more on Temu. I think a lot of the macroeconomic factors at the moment also add some weight to that story, where affordability is one of those key drivers, right? Why Temu really fills a gap for us when everything else is becoming so expensive. You can come to Temu and find some fantastic offers. And of course, those subsidized offers where Temu itself is investing, as we said, in crazy discounts or offering you free gifts, which perhaps you can't really access on those other marketplaces. So some of the key stats in the UK, 81% of British respondents believe that it delivers value for money, exactly as we've just mentioned. And the good thing is that 4 in 10 shoppers would expect to spend more time on Temu this year. So of course, that 13 million plus monthly average users, this is a good sign that's just going to continue to grow and grow over time. Also from a, I guess, B2B standpoint, you can see that actually Temu's been a very useful platform for those people, those entrepreneurs in the UK. So a great place to buy in bulk, whether that's things to kit out your office, your coffee shop, whatever it may be. Temu's been a real helper to those kicking off new businesses in this country. So now let's come on to the actual local seller initiative. Let's flip it now to look at what this means for you as a potential seller in the UK. So December was the key moment for us, where we began to really double down on local acquisition. We'd built up the momentum already. We've built up the foundations with a high volume of customers on the platform. But then we realized, okay, now we need to switch up. We need to start to add credibility, add trust, increase average order value, increase basket size. We want to enrich that product supply. So for our perspective, it's becoming more akin to an Amazon in that sense, where you have a real eclectic mix from those cheaper, more accessible products right the way through to your favorite local brands and merchants. So we started in the US in 2022. This was the actual, I think Temu itself, the before we went to the local brands. moved into the UK, but it was really in August last year where we started to test and learn with the local to local model. So this was kind of undercover. We had a few test brands that we brought in, and by December we had the foundation set where we really pulled the trigger. So we now have a really strong team of around 50 to 60 business development managers and senior individuals that have come from great backgrounds to ensure that we can go out there and quickly acquire loads of these fantastic brands. And that can be in electronics, it can be in food, it can be in health, wellness, you name it. There is a whole mix of categories that we are going after. And already, if you begin to shop and do some searching, I'm sure you'll see some recognizable household names on there. And the main thing here is it's still early days. We've got the volume there, we have the customers, but really there are some empty shelf categories. So to give you a quick example, we like to look at, profiles, individuals. So let's take Joe. Joe loves to build stuff. He typically on Temu, when he was searching a year ago, he could find, let's say, unbranded products, which was fine for him. He doesn't need to have a branded Hive jacket or safety shoes. He just needs them at an affordable price. So he could naturally get a lot of that stuff on the platform anyway. But as he's continued to use it, we could see there were gaps. He wanted to extend and start to get some additional products that weren't there. And obviously, bringing in, let's say, bulky supply from China is too much of a cost. So we don't really have anything there. So this is why now actually we're doubling down on some of these empty shelf categories, and building materials, heavy goods is absolutely one area that we need to start building. As we said, there's 13 million customers that are looking for this type of product, but no Chinese partners of ours actually supplying this. The same goes then for, branded product. Of course, Joe's happy buying the unbranded stuff, but now he's looking to top up his DIY pool with branded power tools. And already you can start search and see that we do have some names already. But again, I can't stress enough, it's so early in our development now. We've only been doing this for just shy of, let's say, 12 months. So with so many million customers, even if you join now, there's low competition, lower than any other marketplace. It's your opportunity to come on and really drive that demand without even having to lift a finger. So another example here, we have Amy, who was happy buying food containers for cheap, pet food dispensers, basic t-shirts, stationery, all this stuff is absolutely available since the beginning on Temu. But now she's starting to realize, okay, what else can I get? There's definitely more that we can offer here. And we know that from a search perspective. So now we're looking for things like books, branded perfume, local pet food, again, tying into the idea of plugging those product gaps. So books, again, is one of those items, focus areas where really Chinese sellers can't offer this stuff. And then in terms of trust and credibility, local pet food, this is really, really an area that we want to dive into. So it is the opportunity for the decade, in our opinion. Yes, we've had first movers, but still, in most categories, we are less than 100 local brands still. And the main thing is it's access to new customers. So we've done some analysis on certain partners of ours. We essentially do a fuzzy match. So we look at the addresses, we look at the emails, and we can see that for many of our sellers, there's a high percentage of net new customers to them. So this is a really promising sign that, we're not here to cannibalize sales on other marketplaces. We're here to genuinely bring those incremental customers to you. And there are some great success cases. Here is 2 examples, but I would encourage you to just start browsing on the platform, search various different categories. You can click through to their stores. If you click on their, essentially the circular image in the top left, you'll be able to see their store. So you can see if they're a local seller or not. And on top of that, you'd be able to see what's sold well, the top sales, how much they've sold. And in many cases, there are some very, very impressive sellers. So one that isn't in this document here is a health and wellness seller that sits with my team. A fairly unknown brand on Amazon, but they started in January and they've now done over 180,000 orders, selling everything from mushroom capsules to collagen to vitamin C powders. There's so much that they're essentially tapping into because they are empty shelf categories, and the results speak for themselves. So in this case, on the left, we're looking at an SMB brand. So really, they specialize in selling toilet paper, tissue paper, wipes, and a small selection of other FMCG. But they only launched with 4 SKUs in December last year. And essentially, they've had over 1,000 sales in the first month, and they quickly became the #1 seller in FMCG. You look at those figures now, and I'm pretty sure this is from an old deck. They've sold over 64,000 items. But I think the key thing to note here is that's been done with limited elbow grease. So Temu is a very much hands-off platform. Everything is driven algorithmically. So provided we get good product imagery, we're able to offer prices that are competitive versus, say, Amazon, eBay, TikTok, then the platform will drive the traffic, will drive the conversions for you. And this is what makes Temu special in my opinion. In other platforms, once you've launched a product, that's when the work begins. If it's TikTok, it's then around the creator strategy. It's around using adverts to the max. It's about live streaming. All of this takes a huge amount of work. On Amazon, maybe it's battling for the buy box. Maybe it's optimizing the listing descriptions, how you can try and get more visibility. Again, it is a more complicated marketplace and very often requires lots more work to get things off the ground. On Temu, literally, if we can list products with good prices, you can sit back and watch the orders roll in. It's all done algorithmically. Sure, we're now looking at bringing in our own advertising opportunities for you. Again, you can enter promotions, but even if you did very little, I can guarantee that you make decent sales in your first few months, particularly as we are at a moment of low competition on the marketplace. So another one is a electricals brand here. I think this is an interesting one because very often the perception of Temu is just low value. Temu, you go on, as we said, for the £1 massage guns and various other things that are super, super cheap. But in electricals, we have really debunked that myth. Very early on, I think in January, we onboarded our first phone seller, selling Samsung A16s, Apple iPhone 16s. And these are items that are, above £500. In many cases, we now have TVs and other electrical items over £1,000 that are selling really, really well. So this store in particular, we could see that he was selling, items over £800, and even in the first month, which was for this store in particular in January, over 170 orders a day. So you can do the maths there. It's a pretty considerable number for a phone seller in their first month on a new platform. And yes, I keep banging on around the eclectic mix of brands that you can search. But here's just an example. It really is across the spectrum, whether it's engine oil, whether it's your classic Yorkshire tea bags, anything regarding gaming or small household electrical. There's a really, really nice mix of names on the platform right now. But less than 12 months on a platform with almost 15 million monthly average users, we can see that this is something not to be ignored. We are here to help you. We are here to give you the guardrails to really succeed on the platform. And with StoreFeeder's help as well, we can make this a really smooth transition and hopefully build out for you a very powerful incremental revenue channel as we move into the new year. Perfect. So I'll stop there. Over to you again, Jack.
Brilliant. Thank you. Cheers, Tom. That was super insightful. That's actually quite interesting. So, right, let me share my screen again. There we go. So what did we get? Cool. So the StoreFeeder and Temu integration. We've recently launched it live. It was in early access with some customers beforehand. They've in the last week processed 16,500 orders, I believe, via StoreFeeder, and that's just those that were using the beta essentially. So it's now opened up to every customer. So we should start to see more orders through as well. And it's all, like I'm saying, already a very popular channel. So that's really good for our customers. So how the integration works. As you're all StoreFeeder users, you'll be very familiar with how the integration is set up in the system. It works exactly the same way as any of the other marketplaces we have. So if we look at this, you'll see it here with eBay and Amazon, for example, and managed all from the same place. And then again, if we look at the actual integration itself, you'll see that it works in the same way. You can associate your company identity if you've got more than one Temu channel, or if you've got multiple businesses selling on Temu. And then if we just shoot in, you can manage your channel settings in the same way as with the channels as well. So you've got the flexibility to turn certain things off if you need to. So if you don't want to, while you're setting up, have stock control on, you can do, or you can turn off listing download while you work on some listings perhaps. So that's all there in the integration. You can also merge orders if you need to. I'll touch on that slightly later, but there is that option again to do that with your orders from Temu. You'll see on the manage order page, all your Temu orders in with your other orders. In this example, it's just Temu. So you can see those, you can see what's going where, how many you've sort of an overview of them basically. And then what sort of courier it's going with. So in this case, it's going with Royal Mail 48 tracked. The tracking number will get sent to channel to your customer, and the dispatch notification will get sent as well, so they'll know it's on the way. And you can use that with any courier that you've got integrated into StoreFeeder. So it doesn't have to be Royal Mail, it could be DPD or Every or something. Right, and now we've got the edit order page in a bit more detail. So again, you can easily see at a glance information. So this is test customer data, by the way, just in case anyone's wondering. It's not a real order. So here you can see all that information about it, where it is in your dispatch process. So in this case, it's assigned, I believe. If any tracking number has been generated yet, what courier it's with. And this is the V3 StoreFeeder manage order page. I think some of you would have seen it. Again, this is in early access, but it's a better representation of what information you can see than the current one. So I've used that one. It also gives a little teaser of it, I suppose. And finally, we've got the manage listing page for Temu. So due to the way that Temu's catalog works, you can't create the listings directly from StoreFeeder, but you can set inventory modifiers and other bits you may want to use. So for example, you want to keep listings live all the time, you can put max inventory, oversell, out of stock threshold. All of those are supported with the Temu listings. So again, like every other integration in StoreFeeder, you've got that flexibility to use it if you need to. Yeah. So what to expect from the integration? Listing download, obviously, you've got to bring those in, map them, and then they could be stock controlled. Automatic inventory updates. So once that setting's on, it will push the stock from StoreFeeder to Temu to make sure that everything's up to date and you're overselling or underselling. Order import, obviously, so you can bring the orders in for them to be shipped. Dispatch notifications. Once you've sent your order, it'll send tracking and dispatch notification to Temu. Then your customer know that the order's on its way. Merging orders. If the same customer places two orders that you need to dispatch and they go to the same address and you can fulfill them from the same warehouse, StoreFeeder will merge those. So it means you haven't got to pay twice to send items to the same person, which is just a really easy way of saving a bit of money. And you can also mark orders as cancelled in StoreFeeder when they're cancelled on Temu. So say an order does get cancelled, it will get updated as such in StoreFeeder so that you know that you're not having that stock sat on that order and you can sell the stock to another customer. So we'll quickly run through how to add the integration to your StoreFeeder account. So once you've signed up, or if you've already got a Temu account, you can do it after the webinar. And if you do have any questions, throw those into the chat or the Q&A, and we can get to those at the end. So I'm sure you're all super familiar with how this works. You just manage integrations page, new integration, name your store, and add the integration set permissions. That creates this page, which we've had a little look at. Set it to active. We'll need the access token, and we'll get that in a sec from Temu. So you then set any of your order processing and stock management settings. The integration works identically to others, like we spoke about, but we can't currently send price updates to Temu. But if that becomes available in the API, we will do. So to get the token, you just navigate to the Temu, log into Temu, navigate to the App Store, search and install for the StoreFeeder app, and then click Authorize. So that will link that to that. That'll add that to your Temu account. So we can generate the token that you need, and then find the app, retrieve your access token, copy and paste it into the integration, click test, and that's done. So that it's really easy to integrate. A 5-minute job, if that. So how to get started? It's available to all StoreFeeder users. So if you've got a StoreFeeder account and you want to sell on Temu, you can do. We do have a Temu sign-up link for StoreFeeder customers, which will let Temu know that you're a StoreFeeder customer and ensure some personalized guidance and a dedicated team to help you. If you want that link, either get in touch with support or speak to me or Dan, and we'll be able to provide it. And if you're struggling to get the integration to work, give the support team a call or an email, and they'll be able to help you set it up as well. So Q&A, have we got any questions for anyone at all? I noticed the price field in the listing screen, but there was no option in the integration for automatic price updates. In the slide, it said we can't update prices. I think it's it's more of a technical question than I think I can answer in a lot of detail, but basically the option to update the price through the API isn't there in the way that we need to do it. So we need to look at it as well. I know that the integration team are investigating it, and obviously we'd like to have it in the software once we get it. So yeah, it's something we're looking at. If you watch this space, and it will hopefully be available in the future. Yeah. And so is it similar to TikTok listing? So we map backwards. Yeah, that's correct. You create the listing on Temu. Once it's there approved in the catalog, it'll import into StoreFeeder as a normal listing. And if you've used the same SKUs, select everything, Apple by SKU, and it'll, again, less than 5-minute job. That easy. Cool. How does cancellation work? So as I understand it, once an order is cancelled on Temu, StoreFeeder will see that it's been cancelled. StoreFeeder just marks it as cancelled in the system and frees the stock up back off that order. So you have a record of it. The stock will just go back to the product.
It's a 1 hour buyer's remorse window.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so it's 1 hour. Brilliant. Any other questions at all?
It's not a question, okay. But I just put in there some additional information in the chat that I think could be interesting, where I see the biggest category opportunities and why. So the mix of empty shelf, spectrum of value, and too big, too heavy.
Brilliant. No, thank you. That's useful, actually. Cool. Yeah. Any other bits and bobs? Anything else anyone wants to know?
Great. Yeah, so it's a interesting question, Martin, actually. We would recommend going much narrower with your selection. Reason why is that price is a big factor here. So without getting into too much detail, Temu's often scanning other marketplaces. Um, and if the price isn't competitive versus, say, your eBay or your Amazon, your listing will go live, but it will go live with limited traffic. And we've had it in the past where sellers try and push 50,000 items, let's say, which is great, but many of those end up on limited traffic, and it takes a bit of manual effort then to just reverse that and make sure that they do pass the pricing. So we would recommend the best step is to just start small and build incrementally. And yes, price is big, but it's not the be all and end all. But yeah, happy to take that up separately if you want to go into more detail about that on a call. I can happily join you and bring someone from the team to give you more insights. Absolutely. I think anyone here that wants to have a call, we can do that this week or next. Really keen to give all of you the guardrails to succeed. Regardless of the category, we can definitely support you. It's absolutely wide open in terms of those empty shelf categories. And yeah, we have a great team here that have come from really good backgrounds: eBay, Amazon, TikTok, OnBuy, Wish. They're all there to give you their expertise and help you maximize the revenue driving opportunities on this platform. So yeah, we can arrange calls with all of you. That's absolutely fine. Oh, we've got Reese on the call. It'd be great if we could have given Reese the microphone. He's worked with one of our top sweet sellers actually, Exploded Sweets. So definitely take a look at their store on on Temu. You can see how well they've done. I think it was January or February when Exploded Sweets started. Is that right, Reese? Maybe put in the message. Yeah. So since the end of February, you can see how much order volume they've driven. So yeah, just search Exploded Sweets in the Temu search bar, and you'll see then once you click through to the store how well they've done in a short space of time. I would also recommend connecting with Reese on LinkedIn because he can give you a first-hand overview from a seller perspective on what it's been like growing a store. And I know that Reese works also across marketplace, so trying to work with Amazon, TikTok, eBay, etc. So I think he's a good guy to give you the pros and cons versus some of these other marketplaces.
Brilliant. Anyone else got any other questions or comments still? No.
Perfect.
Cool. Okay. Yeah.
How can we get in contact for the meet? So Jack, I guess will you manage this your side?
Yeah. Yeah.
Send out
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
message
We can get it
to all of
sorted.
you. We have the emails, so we'll be able to
Yeah.
liaise and sort something out very soon.
Yeah. And if anyone wants the sign up link as well, let us know and we can provide you with that so you can get started. Brilliant. Right. So thank you, Thomas. That was really interesting, very insightful. So
Welcome.
I think it was a good webinar. The next one will probably be at the start of December. Look out for the invite for it. We haven't got a topic yet, so I'll have a look and see what we can get sorted for you. And if you need any help, like I say, hello@storefeeder.com or via our support ticketing system. Yeah. So thank you. Cheers, everyone, and have a good rest of the day.
Thanks for arranging, Jack. Thank you everyone for joining.
Thank you.